Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Vietnamese delegation, I wish to congratulate His Excellency Mr. Ali Abdul Salam Treki on his election as the President of the 64th General Assembly of the United Nations. And I believe that with his rich experience, Mr. President will lead this General Assembly to great success. Vietnam commends Mr. President for the theme he proposed for this high-level general debate, which is effective response to the global crisis, enhancement of multilateralism and dialogue among civilizations for peace, international security, and development. I further wish to express our high appreciation to His Excellency Mr. Miguel Descoto Brockman for his contributions to the work of the 63rd General Assembly. Mr. President, the last year since the 63rd General Assembly is not a long span of time, yet deeply characterized by so many challenges to the entire international community. All parts of the world have suffered from the negative and far-reaching impacts of the global financial crisis and economic downturn. This further aggravates the challenges in food security, energy security, and climate change facing developing countries in particular. In the meantime, tension and conflicts remain in various regions, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and international terrorism continue to be the threats demanding effective responses. As such, the last year has also witnessed the enormous efforts of the international community, both in thinking and action, to not only address the immediate problems, but also create a more sustainable foundation for the common peace and prosperity. In due course, nations have been able to draw valuable lessons on governance over domestic development and gain fuller understanding on the meaning of multilateral cooperation. It is evident that no single country could respond to the financial and economic crisis, as well as a series of the current global challenges. It is equally evident that policies and measures of imposition and unilateral use of force to address international security and political issues could only result in more tension, confrontation, and impasse. Given the many difficulties at present, we are encouraged by the positive, yet not solid signs of the world economy. The first summit of the UN Security Council on nuclear non-proliferation and disarmament has highlighted the question of disarmament on the international agenda. Vietnam recognizes the active contributions should also continue to meet the newly emerging complicated requirements. Vietnam shares the common view that reforms should be conducted in all UN agencies, with the one of the Security Council conducted in such a way that broadens its representation and increases democracy and transparency in its operational methodology. Reforms of the mechanism should go hand in hand with renewal of content and due attention paid to a balance among fields of activities of the UN. UN operations should also be sufficiently resourced. Next year, member states will commemorate the 65th anniversary of the United Nations, while reviewing the organization's activities and the 10-year implementation of the MDGs. To prepare grounds for recommendations to be submitted to member state leaders at the 65th General Assembly, we need to discuss what lessons to be drawn from UN activities in all spheres, and what prioritized activities and necessary conditions are for the organization to fully perform its mandates and functions in the interests of all nations. Mr. President, Vietnam has over the past period continued to record major achievements in the process of renewal in general and initial positive gains in response to the impact of the global economic and financial crisis in particular. We have also been successful in our foreign policy of openness, diversification, and multilateralization of external relations in the spirit of being a friend and a reliable partner of all nations and an active, constructive, cooperative, and responsible member of the international community. As a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, we have been an active participant in and an effective and responsible contributor to the maintenance of world peace and security.